Everyone get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to a pair of replays. Today we're going to take a look at the FV4202, which is the tier 10 British medium, and it got a bit of a mixed reputation. I don't think it's generally regarded as being a bad tank, just as a lackluster one, because it doesn't really offer any major any kind of major betterment from the tier 9, because the Centurions are very well regarded, and then you go on to this and I think it's almost more like a move sideways than it is up. And there has been kind of rumours and talk of replacing it, and we don't know, it's all very kind of up in the air. So this is Hunter 111 and this is Westfield, and he's platooned up with Legionnaire étranger. I probably said that wrong, but his legionary friend in a 1375. And you can already see, well, we've actually had some good bounces there. I think the T62A penned, and we had something that didn't. The armour on this is not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's got some bits of armour that will bounce sometimes. I think the upper front plate in particular is fairly decent. I think the thing that gets most people on this, as with all the British mediums from tier 7 upwards, is the speed, or rather the lack of speed. The acceleration's pretty decent. There we go, first kill. But the top speed is not. And if you think the step from the Cromwell to the Comet feels pretty bad, well, the Comet is still faster than the Centurion. So yeah, this replay is being a bit jumpy, by the way. I'm not quite sure why. Hopefully it will sort itself out. Normally, if it does this, it's because it's having to load... and this is a 9.0 replay, by the way. That might be it. It might be because there are some second kill, some bugs with 9.0 for some people in terms of freezes. So this might be that Hunter was having these freezes. Because I've been playing tanks already today. Normally these kind of freezes with the replay, it's because you haven't actually played the game and it's having to load stuff into memory. Third kill, and it's then having pauses while it's doing this. So if this was the first time I touched World of Tanks today, that would be understandable, but I haven't. I've been playing it with Circon and Foch, so I don't know. So there's a bat chat who is about to be... yeah, he's about to be hurt badly. There's a T62A around somewhere, T54 slinging heat over to the left. And that T62A, we can see he's fallen all the way back, so that's... oh, there's artillery. Okay, that is a lot of hit points that are all of a sudden gone. And you don't have that much armour to rely on, as I've been saying, so he's got to be a bit cautious at this point. He's got to be a bit more cautious. That ISA is just going for the friendly T54. Hunter spots an opportunity, goes forward. Boom, there we go. He's tracked again, and Hunter might even be able to pick up the kill if he rolls slightly high. Yep, there we go. I think what happened was the T54 shot him first, and he got just that tiny last bit of health. Now their mediums have largely all fallen back, which is very odd, really. And if you look at the kill count on the battle, it's even more odd. Look at what's going on the north of the map. It doesn't look like it's going that well. Our tanks are doing damage, but they're getting no kills. 5 kills, by the way. Make that 6 there to Top Gun. I think you see where this replay is going. The friendly tanks, the top tiers, were doing damage, but somehow they just weren't getting the kills. And because this gun is relatively fast firing, because it's pretty accurate, you know, you can say that for all the British top tier guns. Blind shot, 7 kills. It's actually very good for I don't want to say kill stealing exactly, kill securing. It's very good for those kind of... there's low health enemies flying around. I was going to say lying around, but that doesn't make any sense at all. Low health enemies flying around, and you can just... now don't ask me why he's got... oh no, wait, that'll be Hesh, won't it? It won't be normal HE. That'll be... let's have a look. That is in fact Hesh, yes. That's the premium ammo on this thing, by the way, is Hesh. 8 kills. Bradley Walters. I've lost my train of thought now, but basically, yeah, this you find that this from kind of tier 7 with the tank destroyers, tier 8 upwards with the heavies, from really the Cromwell on the medium line, that it's very, very good for charging in, and because you've got that low alpha but relatively good accuracy, in the case of the top tiers, very good accuracy, you can just ride in and pick off all the low health enemies. Hello, WZ. Goodbye, WZ. Obviously, the big exception to that is the FV183, but 9 kills. Can we get the pools? Can we do it? And if we do, this is going to be... there we go, 10 kills. Pools medal. Anything else is just a bonus at this point. And you can see there, his team praising him. The mouse actually did alright. The rest of the... This has been such a weird match in a way, because it almost feels like an accidental pools medal. Yes, he was driving around and doing some damage, but for a pools medal in a tier 10 medium, that's incredibly cheap. So I guess kudos on being able to secure all those kills, Hunter. It's almost felt kind of... Normally with a pools medal, it's you're alone versus a whole mass of enemies right at the end, and maybe they're low health and you survive long enough to pick them off one by one. This was not that kind of match by any measure. It's actually 14-8. So he's just picked up all those kills just almost incidentally as he's been going through this match and driving along at 40 around the battlefield. You can't even really say he's been powering around especially. This thing goes 40 really fast, just like the Centurion 7-1. So there we go, STI straight into the probably the upper front plate. From this angle you're firing down into it, and there we go, 10 kills. We'll have a quick look at the scores before we move on. This is almost a... It's going to sound mean saying this, it's almost a warm-up to the next match, because this was Pools medal, it was I can't remember what that other one is, Nidin's medal? Nidin's medal, because he killed all the enemy light tanks. He got that. He got the top gun, and it was his ace tanker as well. And I don't know if it was his definitive ace tanker, because this was a 9.0 replay. As of was it 8.11, 9.0? I can't remember. But basically, if you fulfill the conditions, it will tell you every time. So it's possible these days. I don't actually like that, to be honest. It's possible to get an ace tanker, and you think, oh, did I already have it? I can't remember. And if you don't already know, then it's kind of confusing. Anyway, 4,450 damage, which is, don't get me wrong, that's respectable, but for 10 kills in a tier 10 match, that's kind of low. The next best was the T54 with 4,000 damage and 1 kill. Object 704, nearly 4,000, 0 kills. Mouse 2k damage, 2 kills. E50M 3,600, and there's a bit of a drop off after that. But it was an almost accidental pools medal, and it's the World of Tanks can be so silly sometimes, but it was well played in that all the shots were well placed. 18 shots fired, 16 hits, 16 pens. He obviously was paying attention to what was going on around him. He was fast enough to get in there with the kills. It was a well played match, and shows you probably about the best that this is capable of when it's being well driven. When you throw, however, an element of luck in there and slightly more unbalanced circumstances, well, that's what we're going to see in this next replay. So here we are, replay 2 of 2. This is from Kampsnegla, who is platooned up with the Death Crush over there in a Jagdpanzer E100. Himmelsdorf this time, and this is a rather different sort of map. Now, I think you'll see what I meant as we go along when I said that there is a much bigger luck factor in this. The result is, in a way, a lot more impressive, but the luck, when it happens, oh boy, you'll know about it. So my natural inclination would be, in this situation, to go up to the top of the hill, because they don't really have any fast mediums. They've got a T54E1, and there's a lot of the team going up there. I would personally go up there, and there's a good gun on this thing. I've already said that. The armor's okay, the mobility's okay, but instead he actually chooses to go down and work the middle, and that's not a terrible choice either, because you can go along to, say, D3, D4. I don't even know. D4, and you can work the hill from there. You can prevent them from passing round the side of the castle, basically. And woohoo! Just spotted an IS-8 there. But he doesn't even go that far. He actually goes and sits in a place I wouldn't have necessarily gone. But he's spotted that there's the Jagdpanzer E100 is there. And that is a big juicy target. That's somebody, if you can take that guy out, that's one of the enemy tier 10s out of the way, gone. And given that the majority of their tier 10s are hard-hitting tank destroyers, that's going to be that could really tip the battle. You never know with these kinds of things. So he's just checking he's not going to get hit by that T-4. Woohoo! Okay, so first things first, that guy was firing AP. Second things first, it bounced. So there's that luck. It obviously hit his frontal arm at such an oblique angle that it just bounced off that front plate. And yeah, there we go. You can see he's going for that top weak spot there. Takes his last bit of health. It's also a Tiger 1, but he just kind of slightly balks himself out of a shot, and by that point it doesn't matter that the Tiger 1 is by the time he reloaded anyway. I don't even know why I said that, because the Tiger 1, I don't think I could have shot the guy, and I'm just waffling at this point, so let's continue. T110 E5 up there. He briefly looks as if he's going to try and sit and take a shot, but he doesn't. He goes back to where Death Crush is, and I'm not sure if he's thinking about pushing up this street maybe, because it's an IS-8 and a Tiger. I'm not quite sure what he's doing right now, to be honest. He's I don't know. A lot of this game, especially the first half of the game, he kind of he plays very, very passively, considering that he is in a top tier medium. I think that is, it's one of those times where it's kind of like the way the battle works out. It works out the way it does because there's actually somebody, high tier somebody at the end running around with a lot of hit points. So there we go, E5, if we can nail this guy. And I think he's using the extra zoom mod because yeah, you don't get that much zoom normally. Oh, Tiger 1, okay, that's possibly a one-shot kill. No, oh, there we go. Takes him out, there we go, very nice. The hill was looking alright, and now it's suddenly not. We're at 4-7, and a lot of that is because of what's happened on the hill. And again, Kampsnegla is, I know this is not the fastest medium, but he's not really... I see their enemy RT taking a pot shot at him. He's not really using that mobility, that acceleration to get around the place. Again, though, there's a whole bunch of stuff there, and Death Crush has actually gone on the offensive, and he's not really supporting Death Crush at all. He's just working this same position again. And that would be my criticism of Kampsnegla in this one. This is, again, there's a lot of luck going on here, and he just misses that shot. Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, as the saying goes, but he's going to take this one. There we go. Puts one in the IS-8. And that WZ is kind of alone now. Well, there's Artie still, but IS-8 just pulls back. Now, if that object will go forward, you can get a nice shot in his side, but it's not going to. Death Crush is actually now being chased down by their artillery, who's just gone full TD mode. He's YOLO'd hard, considering that there is not really any support for him. And when you're in a platoon, that's kind of why you're playing in a platoon, so you can support each other. But, oh, IS-8 down, and he's about to take a hit. And there's a 268 in front of him, an RT behind him. Death Crush is about to be in for a very bad time. Now, the 261 is down, but that object 268... And again, he's not trying to get round behind the 268, he's not trying to flank, he's just working this same position over and over. He's accumulated a few kills, though. He's done 3k damage. It's not like he's been doing nothing at all. It's just this is not really the best use of a top tier medium, I think, even if it's this medium. However, finally he starts to make a move. He heads out across the open, and why he's not trying to go behind the FV, I do not know. Maybe he's worried about being shot from the hill. By this point the hill is lost, and actually he does take a shot from the hill, so that was a fair concern, as it turns out. But there we go, there's the FV, and he takes advantage of the guy's distraction. You could actually hear the FV was still loading with Gnomefathers. So he used that that little window and oh, okay. So the FV, as it turns out, was shooting AP as well. So that's so far a Jagdpanzer E100 and an FV183 that he's actually managed to bounce. So there's the E75 still up there, who fires, and I think that probably bounced off the turret. Oh, that one didn't bounce, however. So he's going to get to cover. Oh, that's a couple of near misses. He pauses a moment here, and I think he was maybe trying to get off their radar or something, but you'd have to pause for a moment longer than that. Anyway, if they can clear up what's behind them and then take care of the rest, this is actually kind of... Kampsnegla's finally kind of... I almost want to say he's woken up. He's finally moving around and doing stuff. And he's actually spotted that this VK, that he can hit this guy without having to close the distance. The VK is just not reacting, so he's had to leave the match, maybe? He's just... I don't know what's going on there. The dangerous M6 is down, so we're safe in that regard. And there's the kill shot. So it is now 3 versus 3, and this is going to be kind of tough because, yeah, the AT-15 depends. You know, fast rate of fire, that could actually be quite dangerous. But the E75 and the Jagdpanzer E100 are both very hard hitting. His only allies are the full health Batchat Arty and a very low health WZ-111. So, instead of trying to go after them, he guesses that they're going to come from the north because they know where he was, and the WZ's trying to cap. WZ, intentionally or not, is acting as bait at this point, so they're basically going to post-haste try and get to the cap. Arty's actually now going in the cap as well. Kampsnegla's going to use this quite well, that the fact that there's 2 people in the cap, that they're going to be rushing to decap, essentially. He's going to do his best to take advantage of this, and he's guessing that they're going to come this way. Oh, and there we go. There's that Jagdpanzer E100. He's also been spotted though, so it's not really a stealthy approach anymore, but it just depends if the Jagdpanzer's going to keep going or not. WZ fires, I think misses, and if he just goes in front, there we go. Now, it's going to take more than one shot to get this guy, unless we get really lucky. And there is a ammo rack or something like that. So, low front plate. Oh, again, an AP shell. Okay, so that's 2 Jagdpanzer E100s and an FV183 that he has now bounced the shells of. The E75 went either the other way or sniped from, well, from the bottom, something like that. Because the WZ is now down. And there we go, there's the E75. He shoots the artillery, who's the closest target. Kampsnegla. Don't know why he didn't take that shot. I really don't. It's not like he had HE or Hesh loaded, so... I don't know, though. This is an 8.9 replay. If you hit the posts rather than the railings, it actually might get stopped. So that might be why. And as a side note, this is an 8.9 replay, but I'm having to play it on the 8.10 client because for whatever reason it wouldn't play on the 8.9 client. It was a bit funny and I don't know why. Anyway, in the side of that guy, he fires and misses. Kampsnegla takes the nice shot there with the Axel. He tracks and damages the guy. And he's kind of... this is... I don't know why he tried it again, to be honest. I would have... I don't know, maybe he was just trying to replicate it because trying for the lower front plate is a tricky shot, but this time he does go for the lower front plate and it goes through. E75's shot goes in his track, so he's got half his hit points left at this point after having bounced 3 tier 10 tank destroyers. And here's the AT-15. That shell though. Okay, the AT-15's hitting once. Bear in mind AT-15 has got a very fast firing 20-pounder gun, so... Oh, that's another hit. This is actually maybe going to be his most dangerous opponent yet, to be honest. Because another, 3 hits, the AT-15's got him. So he, at this point, and he's actually finally... Well, I said this before, didn't I? It was like finally using his medium ability. He's actually doing his best to... And he does it in a slightly weird way. He drives along here, and this was a risk because if the... Okay, if the AT-15 had been looking along the D-line street and he'd kind of come through the middle there and taken that route himself, then he would have been spotted. But if the AT-15 had gone forward, then yeah, so that was again luck, incredible luck. But he is at least trying to throw the AT-15 off. He's trying to come at him from an unexpected direction. And there he is. He hadn't really moved that much. He'd moved forward a bit. He oh, now Kampsnegla trying for the tracks, but takes another hit in doing so, and trying for the tracks, and then that's kind of a wasted shot, all things considered. And now he's not really trying to change position again. He's just going into a straight up duel, and he's switching to his Hesh shells. And this is all going to come down to who is the better shot and who gets the luckier bounces, and you know. Also, I don't know, Death Crush. I don't know if that was just trolling or whatever. Anyway, that just went straight through the front of the AT-15. AT-15, however, tracks in. I don't know if it was because he was mostly behind cover, but he didn't use his repair kit, and he's gonna. I don't know. I thought he's gonna drive around. Is he? Is he gonna? No. Yes. No. He's not quite sure. Now he's gonna. Yeah. See, I don't quite know. I think there's a bit of indecision going on here. It all comes. I mean, Kampsnegla is a one-shot kill. The AT-15 isn't. However, AT-15 is as unfast. I think that's the best way to describe this tank. As unfast as the FV is, the AT-15 is always going to be slower. So he does manage to back safely away, but again, instead of... I mean, I know time's ticking down a bit, but instead of trying to come out at an unexpected angle... I mean, he kind of does in a way, because the AT-15 was clearly still expecting him to be there. But then he just kind of sits here and trusts to his luck, and it's like, okay, that could have ended him, but it missed. Takes the tracks. That one could have ended him, but it bounced. And now Kampsnegla's got it. He's going to take this guy. One in the back. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. You see what I mean about luck in that game? I think Kampsnegla was playing it smart in certain parts, but he got very lucky in other parts. Those bounces with the tier 10 TDs, that last bounce from the AT-15, that could have ended him so easily. And he didn't need to be in a position where that happened. He could have... That could have played out very differently at the end there. Very, very differently. But as it was... Kampsnegla got out of that his ace mastery. He got a steel wall, he got a Radley Walters and a top gun, he got a sniper medal, and he got a Spartan for that very last bounce. And that Spartan, that was the one that won the game, basically, because it all came down to that last shot, and because the AT-15 bounced, that was it. At that point, Kampsnegla had in fact won. So, like I said, in a way it's a more impressive match, but it's also a match where luck was a much bigger determining factor than the previous one. But the actual damage count, the actual kill count, 8,000 damage, just under 8,000 damage is quite impressive. 9 kills, almost 1600 base XP. With premium it was over 2000. That was his daily, so it was nearly 5000 XP. Yeah, I mean, it was a good match, but it was kind of so much luck in that. Anyway, so there we go. The FV4202 brain not found. Yeah, that's a common error I have. The tier 10 British medium, aka the Prius, because it does look a bit funny. It's not a terrible machine, and I probably will have one sooner rather than later, although it depends how long it takes me to get through the Centurions. Hell, the new tier 10 medium might be in place before I get to that stage. I don't know. I might never play this thing. But it's not terrible. It's not great. I think the best anyone can say about it is meh. But these were definitely above average games, and I hope you were entertained by them. And if you were, wow, that transition though, so smooth, right? You can hit the like button, you can leave a comment below, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.